Welcome to Buddha Boss, where Buddha talks, where we combine the three treasures, Ji, Qing, and Shen, the mind, body, and spirit. By the coherence of all three, you get to think like a Buddha, and you naturally have a boss-like attitude and rule your own life, and that takes going on the inside. By doing this, you give other people the gift of self-expression and the best forms of yourself, really. I'm not going to take too much of the time. I do want to go straight into meditation, and I do want to share a couple of things with you, two things. I'm so excited that, I have 6 followers with Buddha Boss, but that's not even like the point. Like, the point is that I finally did something that I'm passionate about and followed through with it. And it's like I feel free. Like, I feel really, because this is what I love, and I don't care who believes me, because this is my truth, it makes me feel good. Yeah. And I that's just all what it's about. And I want to read you something from the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. Verse 52, it says, "That which creates the universe is the mother of the world. By knowing the mother, by knowing her children, one comes to know her. Such is their unity, that one does not exist without the other. Fully embracing your life, and you will share in the glory of creation. The mother herself will be your guardian, and all her creation will be your guide. Stay with the mother, shut the mouth, close the gates, and you are never in trouble. Abandon the mother, open the mouth, be busy with others, and you are beyond all hope of rest. Seeing your own smallness, it's called insight. Honoring your own tenderness is called strength." Wow. And this goes back to the interdependentness that acupuncture abides by in the yin and yang. One cannot exist without the other. They're interdependent. And this is power versus force, right? When you do things of your own accord and try and make it happen on your own, that's just operating not from not trusting, but that is it, but going to the deepest root. What is the deepest root? It's scarcity thinking. And that's, this is analogous. This is opening your mouth, being busy with others, doing your own thing. You're beyond hope. But when you trust nature, when you know the mother, when you're grounded, and the mother is the universe. You are provided for. We are the universe. I was watching, who is it? The scientist, Neil deGrasse Tyson. We are the universe. Take a look at his YouTube. It's pretty amazing. He says we're a constellation, and there's only the 5 main ingredients that make up the universe. Not surprisingly, we are made up of nitrogen, oxygen, H2O, carbon, and I think there's one more. Those are our 5 most ingredients. Also, that's what makes up the universe the most, the elements. And so when we say, "Oh yeah, we're a part of the element," that's not it. We are the elements. The universe is in us. We are not in the universe. When you say it that way, it's like, whoa, that's how powerful we are. And that's your proof. That's my proof. You say, "Oh, you're the universe." Well, you know what? You can do all this, say all this esoteric stuff, but when you put it that way, when you say, okay, for those of you that are non-believers that have to put hard science, I got you on both ends. This esoteric, that live in love and light, And you're our expansive. Okay, well, how about this? 5 main ingredients that make up the universe, and they are nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, H2O, carbon. We, exact same thing. And that is not from me, that is from Neil deGrasse Tyson. So that's where I'm referencing it. And he can't be wrong because he's a professional at what he does. And he said, we're not part of the universe. We are the universe. The universe is in us. So there. And yeah. And you just remember that, you're the universe. We are gods living in a human form. And, recognize that. With that said, I am going to go into meditation. Oh, and the second thing is when I go into these meditations, again, I have these binaural frequencies that there are different wavelengths. This is in the theta state, and I'm particularly listening to, it's called Deeper Insight. It's binaural frequency tones that that puts me into a deeper state of meditation so that I have deeper insights. And there's another one that I listen to that when you go to sleep, I'm literally hypnotizing myself by listening to, now these are theta delta waves, and they're specifically for reprogramming your unconscious mind through hypnosis, binaural frequencies, by subliminal messages, which we all are getting anyway. It's like, well, why don't I just use the subliminal message to hypnotize myself into really having good things, and it's really working. It's crazy. It's just on a whole different level. And I'll put it up for you guys. I have different ones, one on wealth, one on learning, I have one on studying. So I'll put it on Buddha Boss, and it's pretty much up for, you guys could take it and use it, and that's that. Yeah, that's what I want to do for free. Yeah. So anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna go in. So right here, I'm just setting an intention, and as I go into a deeper place, I say a little invocation that as I go into this deep place, that all information and energies shared in this session may come from the highest realms of light and be in service to the greater good for all concerned. I also specifically put my attention on one particular archangel. Her name, or you can say his name, is Archangel Zedkiel. Each archangel has a day of the week that's theirs. Zedkiel was Thursday, and each archangel rules a certain part of the chakra. Archangel Zedkiel specifically rules the third eye and also clairvoyance. He helps everyone that is clairvoyant and enhances the spiritual gifts. So I thought it was perfect for me to call upon Archangel Zedkiel to enhance my abilities to talk and to have that clairvoyance and to open up my third eye, because it's been on fire along with my heart. So as I'm bringing my head down, I do know that I'm doing it, but I don't know why I'm doing it. My arms are just moving on its own. But I always know how I'm feeling as I'm doing it. And at this point was when I'm bringing my own head down, it almost felt like just another energy inside, and was giving thanks and bowing its head down and to the higher ups. I don't know. It just felt like I was giving thanks. And I was crawling and just bowing my head lower and just really just showing gratitude. So right here, it felt like two electricity balls of like white light And in the center of your hand, it's an acupuncture point called pericardium 8. And it was, I mean, that's a strong point in acupuncture. And that's where I was feeling it. It felt like two beams of light coming out of there. It was insane. It was hot too. So by this point, I mean, I'm already like taking over. And I will say at this point where I'm doing that hand movement to my third eye, I knew who it was, and it was Zedkiel, Archangel Zedkiel. And it was the most peaceful feeling I have ever felt in my life. It was just, it almost makes me want to tear up just thinking about how peaceful it was. And at first I wasn't sure what she was doing, but as you noticed her arm movements, I realized what she was doing. And it was almost as if, like, I can't put words to it, but it was almost as if she was taking her light and showering it upon the world. And it just makes me want to cry. So in acupuncture, we have a theory that's okay, heaven, earth, and then there's man. We access the yang energy by the sun, by the heaven. Then there's us, man, and the yin, the earth. And right here, it just seemed like she was accessing energy from heaven. So in acupuncture, the left arm is the masculine and the right is the feminine. So you notice she accessed the left first and then the right. The right is following the feminine, yin, and she's now putting them both together, the yin and the yang. Noticing the twirling and adjusting of the hand movement, it seems like she was calibrating the yin and the yang, the light and the dark, the night and day. It just seemed like she was calibrating the energies. So right here, she's taking all of that in and giving it out to the world. And what is she giving out? It felt like just pure love. Just pure love out to the whole entire universe. It was just amazing. I mean, from the first time I felt her energy coming into my body, she immediately was giving thanks for being here. And it felt like it was just like she was already like, it was the most selfless like energy that I felt. I can't explain it. It was a very selfless energy. She was so giving. And then she was already doing things like with my hands that was like giving in nature. I mean, I know what it felt like. She was like giving love. She was giving her light. She was giving her energy. It was the most selfless energy, being peaceful. I can't explain it to you, but it was just amazing. We come with gifts. We come bearing many gifts of love to your planet. You all are in dire need of this love. It is strange to us because we see you all as love. We see you as one of us. It is a pleasure being here. It's quite nice. We are Zedkiel. We take many forms, feminine form or masculine form, depending on what is in need with the individual. And for Linda, it's being able to tap into her feminine energy. That is why we came. You all have a feminine and masculine energy. The most common ones that humans use is their masculine energy. We are saying both is necessary, but the feminine energy is overlooked, and you do not know what it represents. On a more literal form, from the carnal mind, humans think the feminine energy as the literal form. It is not. What it represents is the receptivity and the flexibility of you, the adaptability, being able to cultivate and go in to recharge yourself so that you are able to make your highest, best decisions. It takes a lot of energy thinking and doing and defending it. That is all fine when you have the reserves. Most of you are operating on an empty tank, an empty vessel. Your vessels are empty. Cultivate. Go in. Most of you are taught that by resting, you're being lazy, that you need to do, that you need to, time is of the essence and you're wasting time. All of this you hear. And eventually, humans are very adaptable beings. You are made to adapt. This is why your environment is very crucial, extensively important, because it is in the environment that you naturally, habitually pick up tendencies. Cultivate your yin. Cultivate the femininity and the essence of rest. Rest is very important. You may be thinking, well, this topic is nonsense. Yin, this is so stupid. The ancient wise all knew this. Chinese medicine for ancient thousands of years has studied this, the cultivating the yin, cultivating the femininity and feminine aspects. Humans, females in the feminine in nature, you all are taught to be equals of men. There is no equal of men and women. When you say this, you automatically are operating from separate from the ego. The ego loves identifying and being separate. I'm the only one that does this. It's me. So when you say you're equals, you are not. What we mean by this is if you come from a knowingness, from a whole place, that wholeness cannot be itemized as this or that. It just is. It is a feeling. And when you are in that feeling of wholeness, nothing needs to be said because you're it. But when you need to validate and vocalize your equality, who are you trying to validate yourself? Is it really the other? Or is it your reflection? We would ask you this. Only you know the answer when you truly look within. It is a rarity that we're able to speak to you in this way, and such a delightful pleasure. Linda is quite enjoying the feeling of our essence. It's very uncommon for her to be in her own femininity. It's a conundrum, however, because she exudes femininity. We all forget, bearing in the silence and the mysteries and the darkness of the unknown, mysterious, anything. We also would address in the femininity, in the cultivation of yin and feminine, you are accessing from your highest self. We are so delighted to speak to you in this way. It is a rarity. Fill yourself up with love. You hear this all the time. Being in love, and fill your cup up first, and all these beautiful sayings, which is, the words are very poetic, and we agree. Very beautifully said and done and written, but very empty on the inside. No depth. Depth only can come when you truly go into the depth of you. And that takes some doing and courage. Courage to face yourself and own up to it is you that has put you in the place that you are. Most of you get very offensive when we say this. But we say this in love. You take a look at anything that you get defensive about, and we say, you would never, and never is a strong word. We will use this to prove our point. You would never get offensive if the content of what is being said to you does not resonate with some part of you or some version of you that you are identifying with. Now notice how we said identifying. There's a part of you that is identifying with the offensiveness that the content of what is being said is true for you. Therefore, the part of you that is identifying and getting offensive gets offensive because you, on some form, resonate with that. Otherwise, you would not get offensive or defensive. Let's give you a reference. If we say to Linda, you are a man, and you have short hair, she would look around and are you talking? She would not even think that nothing, no emotion. The emotion says all. It really does. And on the other hand, if we say to her, you have sparklings in your hair, and immediately she would look at her locks and automatically know she is she is who we are referring to. You all hide behind a mask, and behind the mask is the little thing that you do not want anybody to hear or see. So that little thing that you don't want anyone to know gets shown, and this is where you do not know this, but you show the thing that you do not want anyone to see by getting defensive. That's what ignites that small thing. That is the trigger. Just as being late to an appointment triggers the emotion of impatience or frustration. It is not the content of what's being stated. It really comes back to what you are resisting, what you are holding back. Now, this is a very interesting point we would make. Also, that the person who is making such comments is viewing from the lens of herself. We will give you an example. Someone comes to you and says, "You are so inconsiderate." Well, for one, both of the vibrations has to be in alignment for such things to occur. Otherwise, the statement and the energies would not even be in the same place. So the two are co-creating. It's never one. And you all have this fallacy that life is doing you when you are life. These are hard times. They're not hard times. And yes, we do see what is going on currently in your world. But it is the lens of how you view it that how your outcome it will be. Your world has experts in utilizing their attributes and strong points as a way of manipulating. They've refined their skills and use it in a way to manipulate mass consciousness. This your government is like this. Government, the need for healthcare, prescriptions. We're hitting upon very big topics and we understand this, but it is all controlled, very strategically controlled. This is a negative, a very prime good example of someone refining their skills and using it not to enhance life. They want to control the population. It's a very good example. Look at your government. It's right underneath your nose. Their cultivation and refinement of their skill set. And that is the choice of human free will. The freedom of choice. And some of you don't even know that you have that freedom and automatically play the victim role and life is doing me and I come from a family. And talking about your government and how Trump or Cuomo or whoever you're dealing with at this moment, the injustice and this and that, this is also not contributing to you or the whole. It is only enhancing more of lack, and you will continue to get people injustice, and people you will continue to create and attract frequencies of that very nature of which you are talking about. It takes a great deal of energy holding on to the perceptions or ideals of yourself especially when you are validating it from a previous experience that caused you to feel a certain way. It takes a great deal of energy. And it is in the holding patterns of these energies that is literally depleting your life force. And what becomes of a mere acute situation now is a chronic state of being. It's not acute anymore. It's solidified. And it made resonance in yourself, in your organs, in your tissues. Now it's residing in your gut, in your digestive systems. And now what merely is a physical response to a situation that was not really preferred, now undealt with, now it's going in. And we say this to not prove, we want to tell you, when you deal with the emotion, you will notice certain things. Linda has experienced lately that she is not needing that much rest. This is baffling to her. She is known, even when she was a child and a little girl, her stepfather would call her gasoline head. Very cute and appropriate for her at the time, due to her always being asleep when they would go on fishing trips. Always being asleep, and that has not changed much. However, she got a glimpse of this enlightenment, and we would also say enlightenment is also misused. Enlightenment is, normally most of you believe enlightenment, it's this big, no one can attain it, and it is not reachable. Anyone can achieve and attain enlightenment, and all it is seeing the truth, or another version, ability of looking at your own viewpoint or your own belief system, or even something that you had valued, and now you see what you had valued isn't what was real, isn't what was valued. You see a whole different aspect. That is enlightenment, shining the light on belief systems and values and the things that made up you, because those aren't the things that made up you. Linda was enlightened because of the whole sleep aspect. And you hear 8 hours a day, you hear this all the time, and you do have facts and science. But when Linda actually went to the 10-day Vipassana meditation retreat, in which which was free, everyone gave up their cell phones, they were very meticulous, and the women were separated from the men, and you could not speak for 10 days, and you could not even make eye contact, because eye contact is a form of communication. And not even journal writing or note taking. No, it was very strict. Linda really liking this idea and the challenge, took it, and what she found out was very amusing. She could not believe this. The first day she did this, and the second day, and it was very challenging, and staying in one place, and the legs hurt, and all these sensations and feelings, and wanting to get out. cell phone taken. She could not even scroll on social media. Oh, poor her, right? And, well, fourth and fifth day came and she started realizing not needing to take naps often and meditating longer, and by the 10th day she did not need the rest because meditation, which she got out of that, was so rich that sleep was inconsequential. It was not even, that was enlightenment at that point. What she had realized is the weight of the thoughts that you carry was causing her to fatigue. She was tired. Her adrenal glands were tired, taxed out. How do we know the adrenal glands is because of the need and necessities for coffee, and you're exhausted. It'd be the way you are, the way we feel you to be, and it's not the time of day, and it's this and then that, and I'm getting older. That is why you say give yourself any easy way out. We say it is the thoughts and memories that you hold of the injustices that you have had done to you, and you carry it with you, and the more you carry it with you, the more it accrues interest, like a stock that you've built, or a house that you have purchased, and you are letting it maturate, and you're letting it accrue interest so that you can get more returns. However, we will say that this return is it's not, it's negative, and it's not benefiting you, and it's making you physically tired, as it did Linda. She's also feeling, the more she meditates, the exact same feeling as the day she had meditated for 10 days. Because the more you get in alignment with who you are, the less you feel weighed down. You feel lighter when something is clarified, or you make amends with something and somebody, and you feel like you hear the saying, I feel so like a weight is lifted off my shoulder, because that was the energetic component to that. It was of carrying it. You don't see mass, you feel mass. Mass is extraordinary heavy. It's dense, it's compact, it's deep. When you cultivate your yin and in a place of coherence, the body, mind, your organs, they are all working optimally, you will also notice that you're not actually looking out there for someone to fulfill your partnership, because your partnership is with yourself, with your inner being. That is your most essential partnership. And Linda also notices that she is less looking into searching for out there. It comes naturally when you feel the wholeness of you. You're not trying to look for the wholeness, because you are the wholeness, and as a consequence and a result, wholeness must come to you. A wholeness of another person, of another human being will come to you. Another wholeness, and true wholeness, and in beings knowing their wholeness well. That's creation. to the fullest. That's expansion. There are wars happening in your world due to the very nature of control and power. True power is always making decisions coming from a place of fullness. When you identify yourself and your leadership role, you never make a wise decision because you are operating from the ego of identification, and this benefits no one. We love you to the depth of our being, endless, when you realize the magnitude of our appreciation and love for you. Be fully in the place that you are and know that it is perfect. And we leave you in this peace. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Whoa. There's always a doozy coming out of that one, but and again another session of full hour. Wow, I've never felt this. That was great. It was the most like feminine. I felt really like the essence of feminine. It was like I was weighing 100 pounds or something. It was so delicate. It was like, that's what it is. The energy felt so like a delicate, peaceful. It was like a delicate ballerina that you see dancing on the stage. It was so delicate. You know when you feel something so delicate and feminine, like it's the essence of just being so delicate and gentle. The gentleness of it. Wow. Oh my goodness. Guess that's what I was missing, right? And I'm asking this for a little bit. I hope that you got out of whatever you got out of it. You need to get out of it, and we are all in this together. We are all one. Sisters, brothers, teachers, students, all that is us. And I leave you with that piece of wisdom. Be in peace, be in you, and until next time, be at peace from Buddha Boss, or Buddha Talks.